I've got this friend in Switzerland, Sterling Doty, Sterling, and Sterling is a real interesting character. He's a bit older than me. He was in Hollywood and in Big Sur, and he had a very exciting life. He was a sports car driver and had actress girlfriends and everything. He's a real cool kind of guy. And he's got this same understanding to a T. And he was in these organizations for a while, this Arica, I think it was called. Claudio Naranjo, was that his name? I don't know. This Mexican cat had his world organization. Sterling got involved with those people. But if you talk to him, you'll get the same message that I'm giving, which is this is about you. This is about your life, not what Claudio Naranjo figured out, or Gurdjieff, or Da Friedjon, another famous narcissist like Osho, and the same kind of story, sexually abusing people. People would come to see him, these couples, and he would violate the wife in front of the husband, make the husband observe that, because it was supposed to help him get rid of his ego. I don't think that will really help in getting rid of your ego. I think it will harden your ego, so you may never be able to get rid of it. So you see, this is all spirituality, and there are thousands of people who look up to these people.
Yeah.
They get into arguments with me. They try to tell me, Robert, how can you talk that way? Who are you to speak this way about this great teacher? How come you get, who do you think you are? And I get a lot of that. I get a lot of pushback, and I'm happy I get it, truly, because it shows me that if I didn't get it, I would think I'm not trying hard enough. I need to be more offensive.
Yeah.
I've told people to fuck off, And then someone will say, oh, then you can't be a spiritual person if you do that. And I'll say, that's right, I'm not. I'm glad you finally figured that out. Fuck you too.
That's what you're doing. It comes out of you just to show to them that this is an ordinary human being that you are. That's what you're trying to get through to them. That's why it comes out of you. Yeah, so I can understand. Yeah,
I am an ordinary human being, just like you. I'm wounded. I had a childhood. All kinds of things have happened to me. I've been threatened. I've been injured. I've been ill. I've been hurt badly and had surgery and had my heart broken, and all kinds of things have happened to me, the same as anyone else. That's life.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we get. It's just the human life. That's all it is. You can have all kinds of thoughts and ideas about it. I hope you do. It's one good use of the brain power we have here. Enjoy it while you have it.
Yes.
It's not all about scheming and getting over on people. You could also just sit there and be happy that you have stars and donkeys and flowers in this world.
Little things.
Yes. But don't forget that and think there's something better. All there is what you're doing right now. Do your best. That's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
That's my teaching.
That's it.
This is my teaching. This is all you're going to get. Listen, this is all you're going to get. This is it. And you must be here now. and they go at the end of it. Ooh. We have to break, if we want freedom.
Yeah.
We need to break out of that hypnotic trance, not to think what Robert says he thinks or anybody else. Break out of the trance and find out what you think. Find your own mind. Realize that you are alone. There's no one who can help you. You're alone in this world. Yes, if you're wounded and you need help, therapy or spirituality, yes, you seek it out. There's a season. But eventually, we need to grow up and accept there's nothing else that can happen. This is it. In the next moment, it will be exactly the same as it is now. The feelings may be different, the thoughts may be different, but it will be just as distant and impossible to change or get a handle on it as this moment is.
Yes.
We can't, we don't have the tools. All we can do is feel what we feel,
Yeah.
and think what we think, and see what we see, and understand what we understand. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
No one, you can't be someone else. And if you imitate, you're putting up a wall between yourself and yourself.
I love that. I love that.
Yes, it's so simple. What I'm saying is so simple, but it's very painful, especially at first. I must say I've gotten used to it, but it was pretty painful when I first really grokked this. I'm not doing any of this. This is the show. This is what I get to see. This is Robert here. This is Robert's mind. All this stuff that's happening, I can't turn it off. Suicide, yeah, I could stop it with gunshot or overdose. But other than that, you're on for the ride, baby. Your mind doesn't stop speaking to you.
Yeah.
It even dreams at night. There's no escape.
Yeah.
Now that's hard to accept. So people look for distractions and entertainments. I get that. I like a romantic comedy and a glass of rum and soda. Sit there with Catania. She likes wine. Both have a drink, put on some good movie, laugh a lot, and all that. But we both know that's a game.
Yeah.
We're both, Catania almost bled to death a month ago. She had 2 transfusions and an emergency surgery, and I watched her expiring on the gurney. The doctor was saying prayers to Jesus audibly. I was watching my wife slipping out and listening to the doctor praying. Wow.
Is she good now?
Yeah, she's okay. They stopped the bleeding. What happened is she had some dental surgery, and the dental surgeon fucked up terribly and left something improperly sutured. And she had blood trickling for a long time and thought it might heal. But she woke up and there was blood everywhere. And by the time I got her to the emergency room, she was already in very bad shape. And they couldn't do anything there. So she had to get an ambulance, and it was an hour, 20-minute to the hospital. And she lost consciousness entirely. By the time she got there, all they could do was give her oxygen and drip blood into her and do an emergency surgery. She lived through that, and now she's here. But we're skating on thin ice. See, if we realize that, I hope if someone realizes that, I know she and I don't have any problem with this at all, but we've both known this for years. I mean, but if someone doesn't know it yet, if you really think that you've got the next 30 years to become enlightened or something, so the guru tells you it's going to take 10 years of purification and another 10 years to reach the 4th doorway or whatever the system tells you, you'll sit, you'll stare at the wall, Please don't do that. I beseech you, whatever else you have to do in life, do it. Anything would be better than killing yourself early, because you're going to die. And you while you're alive, live. Live. Then you'll be like John Troy or Robert Saltzman. See, we're not bitter being old. We're not bitter looking into the face of death. Not at all. I'm happy, very happy. I've had good experiences in life. Bad ones too. That's a human life. But I had a lot of good ones. I met beautiful people. I got to dance. I got to have sex. I got to celebrate. All of it. These things and I'm free now that when this becomes too burdensome, it'll be okay to die. I've seen other people do it. It's not that hard if you're okay and you don't have all these delusions of permanence, and you're willing to let things slide away in each moment and move on to the next moment. And it's just moment by moment. You see, this is what I have to teach or say. This is the message, let's put it that way. I can't teach it. I can present this message, and I want to. And I love doing this with you because you're open to it. So I just speak freely. which is not that easy sometimes to just go on and on. But this is an important thing to understand. If you live now, when the time comes to give it up, it won't be hard. It won't, I promise you. Other people who have this experience will tell you the exact same thing. You don't have to take it from Robert. It's not Robert's the great realizer and now everybody comes to Robert to hear this. No, Robert is an okay guy who has this beautiful thing to say to people that was shared to him in one version. He lived it out and processed it and it came out a different sausage and, you know, here it is. Mm-hmm. And then, as I was saying before, soon, I'm 75, who knows? Barry, let's see, the waters close, wife and kids remember you, and when they die, no one remembers you, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. If you can accept it for what it is, you are free. It's very beautiful. Because it's temporary, so you don't have to get it right.
Yeah.
No, there's no Akashic records, people. God's not there keeping score. There's no scorecard. There's not am I enlightened test that they give you on your deathbed or something.
To join it. Okay, you go that way. You go this way.
That's right. That's right. So just to put a capper on it, yes. Sabine, what keeps people stuck is the fear of missing out. Yeah. They have imagined some kind of escape or heaven or enlightened state, which is pure imagination, because if they were in that state, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Mm. If they had even any imagination of what it's really like to be awake, they wouldn't seek it. What they would feel, I think, my experience, this happens soon enough. Yeah. Don't rush it. Live your life. It will happen to you. And when it does, you may not love it. Yeah. It may take a while to get used to how disappointing it is in a way to be awake. Yes. See what the human race is really like. You might not feel so thrilled about it all. Mm. That's okay though, see, because you've done these other things and you kind of got your fill of them. And by the time this thing happens to you, it's okay. Yeah, it's not very exciting anymore to win. Losing is pretty much the same thing, maybe even better. That's a little disappointing, but what the hell? Yeah. That's what awake is like, I say, not I'm one with the universe and God smiles on me and I understand all the ins and outs of reality. See this? Come on, snap out of it. No. That's my message. Snap out of that hypnotic trance, people.
Yeah, no, I hear people repeating the same stuff for years. It's really hypnotic trance. And they're still repeating today. Like they say it beautifully because they copied someone, but they're still, you know, stuffed, you know, in their persona. So it's pointless unless you look into yourself, as you say. There's no point repeating what someone else has to say. You have to, you know, get it yourself in a way. Yeah.
It's like going to the doctor. You see, you know where the pain is. Yeah. You're the patient. And the doctor says, well, where does it hurt? Well, it's pretty hard to really explain that. And then, so that would even be a good guru. He says, what brings you to see me? You see, he's like an open guru. You know, I played this role for 1.5 years. Yeah. So what brings you to see me? And I'm sitting there and I'm playing the role. So I'm in repose, self-contained. I can do that. It's an act, you know, it's okay. But the way I was talking before is much more spirited because I'm not putting on a mask. I'm actually just reacting and responding with you. But now I'm sitting there, what brings you here to see me? And the person says, well, Robert, I'm such and such and this and that, and I feel this way and that way. What can I say to that person exactly? I don't really know where you hurt. It goes back to a time, you don't even know where you hurt. You can try to, the hurt happened before we were really conscious of it in all of us. The hurt happened so early in life. The initial separations and hurts happen when you're an infant, and or 1, 2, 3 years old. We have all kinds of engrams, as they're called, all kinds of kind of fixed little memories that they're not memories because we can't remember them. And yet they drive us in many ways. Well, you may become aware of them in solitude and quiet. Not that you have to be alone in a room to do this, but you might be washing the dishes and your friend is talking to you. But while all that's happening, it's suddenly just, you get a little flash. Oh yeah, I remember that. And it'll be an early memory. See, that's your real information, not what some guru is preaching to you about what the universe is like. That fucker doesn't know what the universe is like. Who is he to tell you what the universe is like?
Yes.
Nobody knows what the universe is like at all. We don't know anything about it. Zero, zilch. See, I have to keep repeating this because people imagine that such and so with the big name, where he's got the proper garb, and so impressive. So, and he's
Special.
See, that's an act.
Yes.
When people speak, really, there's an animation to them. Even a dour old Krishnamurti, Jiddu Krishnamurti, was a very sourpuss kind of cat. But even he was animated when he spoke. He would wave his hands and, but these guys are they're like dead fish.
Yeah.
And they're rotting. And I can smell them. Some people can't yet, but you will. Just think a little worse, you'll smell them all right.
Yeah. Well, how many people are into UG for being who he was? He was really.
Oh, UG Krishnamurti.
He was.
I was referring to Jiddu. UG Krishnamurti I love. And I've been compared to UG Krishnamurti. And I think that there is some we're kindred spirits in a kind of
similarities,
in an oblique way. It's not, we're not kissing cousins or anything, but I have a bit of that same attitude that get the fuck out, get out of my face.
I loved him. He's so good. He's my kind of person.
He wasn't looking for followers. He was just as happy to sit in his house and drink tea and stare out the window. And so am I. I understand that people like to form a group, and I'm even willing to kind of have that group. But not okay. I've been very lucky, Sabine. I've had a really fortunate life. I won't describe it, but many good things have happened to me in this life. I've got a lot of real breaks. One of whom is Katanya, has been with me for 44 years. The two of us are together and we're happy. We always have been. That's an amazing, that doesn't happen that often. That's a lucky break. You can't make it happen. So some of the wisdom that people hear in me is actually where the two of us have gotten to pulling together kind of as a team at times. Not always, but I've been really lucky in that most of the readers of my books are these great people, and they're not the following type, and they're not the adoring type.
I noticed that.
When I look at the video of the gathering that we had down here last December, and I see who these people really were, they were such great people. And when I got to know them, I mean, we're friends now. Some of us really struck up friendships. But they're not looking to me for guidance. Far from it. We had this happening and they got something from knowing me. They still have it, but they don't need to keep refreshing it because it's not about me. It's not about the next thing that I might say. It's not like he has another pearl of wisdom that he might take a shit and it'll drop out of his ass or something. See,
Mm.
the way that they're waiting on these gurus, it's a cult. You're
Yeah.
waiting for the table scraps.
Yeah.
You're hungry. Won't you at least find somebody to feed you real food? If you read a real book,
Mm.
read read one of these middle ages Zen people that I like so much, like a Lin Chi,
Yeah.
also called Rinzai.
Yeah.
Lin Chi. He's like one of my favorites. I think the guy's beautiful. He's the guy. I've stolen a couple of lines of his. One is "Depending on No Thing," which is I use as a book title.
Yeah.
It's actually it's a quotation from the Diamond Sutra, which is old school. Well,
Yeah.
he was a woodcutter who lived in the forest. He'd cut wood, bring it in on a cart to the city, and sell it for his meager sustenance. So one day he's making a delivery. He's totally uneducated, illiterate country boy. And inside, someone's reading the Diamond Sutra out loud. And he hears this line, "Depending on no thing, find your own mind."
Yes.
And he instantly got it.
Yeah.
And so he went to the local Zen center, as it would be called today,
Yeah.
ashram or whatever it was called then, and he asked for admittance. I told this story, so it's in Depending on No Thing in the
Yes, I
intro.
read that at the front. Yeah.
You don't have to buy the book, that's online. There's a link to the first,
Yeah.
I think, 100 pages of the book as a freebie.
Yeah.
That includes this section. So I stole that line from him, to find your own mind. And then I also stole this great line that I've been using a lot lately. Why do you want to take someone else's head and put it on top of the one you already have?
Yes.
Same thing, just from a different angle. See, it's not about you hear Robert and then you think the way Robert does about science and religion and all that, and you just say, now I'm like Robert, I understand everything he said. Now I can tell you what he said.
Yeah.
I can argue for it. No, it's take Robert's, kill Robert. Say Robert was a great old guy, read his book. It really turned me on. Now what do I want to do in life? Where's my playground?
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's my entire message. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's in both books.
Yeah.
And it's in every, this is why John Troy likes me. He told me this. He said, you always strip yourself down. You don't put on any airs. You just tell people, hey, this is it.
Yeah.
I took it as praise. To me, it seems like a good thing.
Yeah.
Although some people don't like it. They think I'm being too honest.
Yeah. You don't add on, you take off everything. You take off all the yeah.
My aim is to take away all of it.
Yeah.
Not take away yours. I'm taking away mine. That's why I talk this way. This is what I was saying before. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
This really needs to be understood. I'm honest because every word I say
it's a monologue.
It's input.
Yeah.
Yes, everything is a monologue.
Mm.
If there's non-duality, that's really true.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Mm.
If you believe in that kind of non-duality, that there's only one consciousness, then of course it's a monologue. Who else could be speaking? No one else could be speaking.
Yeah.
But see, I don't do it on that level. I say, this is what you call naturalism, Sabine. This is a philosophical stance. The one that you get in Vedanta is what you call in philosophy, that is called idealism. That's where you say consciousness is the only truth. The mind it's all mind. That's what, there's no actual physical, these are just images in consciousness. That's idealism.
Yeah.
And my point of view, I don't deny that. Could be true. I would have no way of knowing that. Might be true. I would have no way of knowing. If that were true, how would I know? But I tend more toward what you call naturalism. And naturalism regards the world this way.
Yeah.
We seem to be animals here on the planet, and we have these advanced brains, and we kind of understand how intelligence evolved because we have a long record now, and Darwin came up with these ideas, and the more we've applied those ideas to ourselves, the more we understand about ourselves. We understand evolutionary psychology, we understand our sexuality and our drives and how they were began in lower animals and evolved to become what they, so that's naturalism. It doesn't say that that explains what we are. It just says that's a reasonable way to look at it. And unless somebody comes up with some information to the contrary, I'm going to act as if my table really is here. And that when I go to the fridge, there really will be some rice and vegetables left over for dinner, so I don't have to cook it. You can say that's just an image and consciousness, but so what? I need the rice and vegetables. So does the guru who tells you that it's all consciousness. So that's a little strange. This is what Feynman was talking about when he was asked, is it just the light rays hitting my eye, or is there really a chair there? And he says, the physicist who sits down to dinner, he doesn't look at the piece of steak and ask if it's just the light rays. He sticks a fork in it and eats it. And if he didn't do that, he'd starve to death. So we should not allow ourselves to imagine that this world isn't real until further notice. This is as real as it gets. Now, to me, that's sanity. And so when I see these non-duality people speaking, I won't mention their names, but there's, you know who they are. You've attended their satsangs and all this. I know you have. And they have a good rap, and you know, it's believable. If you go on the trip, if you start down that road with them, they can get you to go a long way down that road to where you actually believe that it's real. I've seen you do that with some people. That I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying to me, some of these people you have mentioned are not, they don't get it, but maybe they do, and I don't get it. See, I can't really put a stamp on it.
It's like, grab that message and run away. That's what I'd say. Like, if you go to the meetings, get the message and leave. That's,
See, try to get your narcissistic supplies elsewhere. It might even, I'm not advocating drinking. I know people have problems with alcohol. I'm not one of them, but my sister is. She's been an AA person for 50 years, so I do know about this. I love her very much. She's my kid's sister, see, so I know a lot about it. I've gone to meetings with her, all that. So, and I was a psychotherapist. I had alcoholic clients, so I'm not advocating that people use alcohol as a psychedelic drug, which it is, if you do it right. But it might be better to hang out at a bar to meet people than at an ashram. See, a lot of people go to these retreats to get laid and everything. And that might not be the best place to scam for sex. Do it somewhere where there's more normal people, people who work.
And more normal people love that. I love what you said. That's what I used to say. This is sometimes you just say what I used to say, and it fascinates me. I used to say I'd rather go to the pub. I'm not promoting alcohol. I'm not saying to people who were in AA, but for people who don't drink as much, just go to the pub and you'll have more fun there, and you'll enjoy yourself more. You'll be who you are.
So, I really think so. But these are that's how I got on this. People need to gather, and they like to gather, and I'm okay with that. My Facebook page is like a gathering place. People come to it and they leave all kinds of messages and all. That's beautiful. There's nothing really wrong with it. But I have to keep giving people the slip. It's really important. And that's what these people you have mentioned are not doing. They're doing the opposite. They keep promoting themselves as experts. See, and that's why what this person on the Batgap Facebook page was saying was really insulting. She was saying that I could write a 630-page book.
Yeah.
And I actually did the final edit when my back was broken and I was in the pain that we discussed earlier. And I had to lie on my side and type with one hand on my laptop that was turned on its side so I could see the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm typing 630 pages edited, but final edit by me in that condition.
Yeah.
And then say, but Robert, you shouldn't advise people that they might like to read this book and that they can find the first 100 pages of it online for free because you're promoting yourself. No, I'm not. I'm not promoting Robert Saltzman, not at all. I'm promoting the ideas in this book, and that's entirely different. You don't need me. You can get the book as a Kindle for a few bucks for the price of a glass of wine in an expensive bar.
Yeah.
And it will last a lot longer than that glass of wine. A lot longer. Get home, give it to your friends. And I'm going on like this because I usually don't promote my books, but the thing that this woman said really got me.
Yeah.
It was like she was trying to guilt trip me for having a book that people want to read, not a book about how wonderful it is to be enlightened.
Yeah.
Like my guru.
Yeah, we do
And
know.
I'll be that way too when I finally.
Thank you very much, Robert, for your time. And it was really a pleasure speaking to you. And I'm hoping to get a John Troy at some stage. I was thinking about that for a while. So yeah, again, the 10,000 Things, it's an excellent book. I still don't know if you can see me on the screen because it's not coming up for me for some reason. And this is depending on our thing. They're really both different, but the same at the same time. They're really good, unique. Yeah, like Robert Saltzman, if you put that in search, you can probably bookmark that page and save it under your favorites and ring that bell. So you get a new notification when Robert's new video comes up. So thank you, Robert, so much. It was really a pleasure to talk to you and hoping to see you soon. All the best. Happy New Year.
It's so great to speak with you, Sabine.
Yeah.
Really, because as I said, I stay quiet a lot and I don't talk that much, truly.
Yeah.
But you're so open and your questions are so honest. They're real questions.
Yeah.
I can tell they're coming from someone who understands what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. And it just makes me want to let it all out, you know?
I understand what you're saying because, it's, for me, it's a pleasure listening to you. So I keep quiet, like I forget even my questions because I get absorbed into the message, what you have to say.
So good at sharing is probably one of the greatest euphemisms I've ever heard.
Thank you so much. And take care and Happy New Year and all the best to you and Catania.
Same to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.